Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another game of the URC. Now, that last game between the Sharks and Ulster, it ran extremely long, just coming to a close, but the Sharks getting themselves the victory in that contest. And now we are ready for the very next game, ladies and gentlemen. This one, an entertaining fixture between the Stormers and Edinburgh. Now, Edinburgh are coming into this game a little bit light in terms of the side that they have gone with. They don't have their internationals, but Stormers, they have gone strong in this game, looking to pull off a big victory. And it is Satoli in the front row, alongside Joseph Weber and Nettling for Shea. Andre Smith, alongside Ruben van Heeren, will be the locking duo. Dion Forrie, Ivan Ruiz, and also Diamani there at number 8. Yankees and Mani Lebok with Valimza and Dan Duplessis in the midfield. Then Lillian's asked Ben Loader and Warwick Kalant there at number 15. Looking through quickly at Edinburgh. The reason I'm talking so quick is because this game is extremely close to kicking off. But it is going to be Fenta, Cherry and WP now with a massive milestone game for that man. Sam Skinner and Young as the locking duo. Then Dodd Watson and Viliami Mata as the loose forward trio. Valakot and Ben Healy. Curry embedded in the midfield with Dean, Patterson and Emiliano Boffelli at number 15. But this game has kicked off and the Stormers have received the ball. Going to be an important game, like I mentioned, for them. They are outside of the top 8 as they currently sit. They are in 9th. They have a chance of progressing forward here with a big victory, but rolled back by Paul Devet. Now puts that ball up high. Taken nicely at the back, though, for Wes Hoosen. The big thing here for Edinburgh is even with those top players missing, they have to be aggressive in the way that they play because the Stormers know how to wear down sides physicality-wise. They have to match up well. Keep on going. Let's go, Edinburgh. Let's go. And Stormers has got the best back line in South Africa, says Dion. Yeah, they've got some massive stars. Mani Lebok for Limzas in there. And out wide, they've got the option of Ben Loader alongside Lillian Zas. Paul Devet, 40 metres out from the line at the moment. And Andre Smith, driven backwards. And backline did bad against the Bulls. Says Outlaw now. The cross kick comes in. Not quite there for the hands of Hudsonberg, in fact. Out on the wing for this game rather than Loader. But Similani chasing that one. Couldn't clean it up. And now it's going to be Edinburgh's line-out throw from inside of their own territory. What we will quickly do is we will change the background as well. So we have got Cape Town on that side. There we go. Like I mentioned, we came straight from that last live stream. We haven't even had a chance to take any sort of break. And crowd says, Ryan, looks decent. I haven't really seen a full cinematic shot of the crowd as of yet, but it looks more full than that game between the Sharks and Ulster. Nicely taken by Damien Valimza. Starting in his number 12. A nice fin there. He's just got rid of Viliami Mata. 3 fins in a row for Valimza. Paul Devet going to the right-hand side. Run for from Ruben van Heeren. Is this the last match? It is not. There is still a couple more matches of the URC, but we are not covering those ones on the channel just because this is our 5th live stream in a row that we are covering. So, yeah, that is why we are not doing any more. But next week we have got more games of the URC. The Bulls taking on Leinster. It's going to be an absolutely phenomenal one to watch. Big shot coming in on Hamish Watson by Brock Harris and Smith. Now back into the pocket, Ben Healy as I put the ball high. Valimza running onto it. He has knocked that one on. Back available for Edinburgh. Looks like they're going to try and run this one with Jacob Henry. Already this game being played at quite the tempo. Both sides have try-scoring ability. Wes Hoosen out on the wing. Of course, a lot of guys from New Zealand will know him from the Hurricanes. They are currently sitting top of the table, 5 from 5 in the start of their Super Rugby campaign. Like I said, the Stormers, they are in 9th currently in the URC standings. It sits. They win this game, they will have the potential of moving all the way up to 5th, ahead of Edinburgh if they can score 4 or more tries in this game alongside the win. And Lekker Afrikaans, says Barry and I from Colombia, go the Stormers, says Neil. And Leicester should win easily against the Bulls, says Peter Mason. You never know, though. Sometimes games can be unpredictable. Similani down the wing puts the chip in behind, although he's got plenty on that. And it is going to go dead. Just a little bit too much oomph on that one. We'll go there. I guess you need to sleep too, says Stefan. Yeah, like normally sleep's slightly ideal. Like I've been up for, this stage we've been up for 20 hours. And in that time we have covered over 9 or probably over 8.5 hours of rugby so far. So we're starting to get towards the sleeping stage. Currently on the halfway line, roughly anyway. It will be Edinburgh with the scrum feed. Dave Cherry on the front row. Of course, he knows a thing or two about scoring tries. Across from him, Andre Hugo Fenta. A few experienced veterans out on the field. Brock Harris versus WP now. That is age versus age, wisdom versus wisdom. Referee saying he wants a nice steady scrum here. Whether he gets that though, completely different story. Frans Malharba on the other side going head to head with Bjorn Fenta. Pack weight, over 100 kg advantage for the Stormers over Edinburgh in this game. I think that is the first time I have seen a 4-pack give up at least 100 kgs to their opposition. That's absolutely huge. And that might be something that wears on Edinburgh at scrum time in the end. And I'll say Lecky Dion, says a Barry there as well. Another scrum reset. WP now, massive milestone game like I mentioned for him. I believe it is his 200th cap. Brock Harris is bleeding from his forehead. Not even sure what it was that cut him, but might end up going to the blood bin here if it does start getting a little bit worse. Now, ball about to be fed in by Ben Velicott. And the penalty goes the way of the Stormers. And that can happen. I mean, if you've got 100 kg disadvantage, all it takes is one big shove from your opposition and you're going to be able to get yourself penalty after. Penalty go the Stormers. Says Andrew Warren there. And Brock Harris managing to win the penalty. Marnie Lebok looking for touch rather than going for the 3 points. Stormers are a whole fric de prayer, heavier than Edinburgh. Says Jimbo, that kick from Marnie Lebok. He has missed touch and it's gone dead. So it does actually mean there's a little bit of a reprieve for Edinburgh and they weren't heavily costed in that one. But a rare mistake from Marnie Lebok when it comes to kicking for touch. Normally very decent, getting it right near that 5 metre line. Just talking about that Rugby World Cup campaign with Marnie Lebok, the way he was able to find the touchline time after time. Kia ora, Hamish. Says, Ta, welcome in, mate. Hope you are keeping well. Hope you are enjoying this contest as well. Gonna go like this. Like that. There we go. About 7 minutes into this contest. It's going to fly by, I have a feeling. This one, compared to that last game that went for 2 hours and 5 minutes, like this one could be done in 1:50, maybe even quicker. Frick could drop score and place, says Outlaw and his Stormers, says Barry. Now rolling this one back, it is going to be Ben Velicott again going for that box kick. Chasing after it. Looks like the youngster, Jacob Henry. It's back available now for Andre Smith. And Ivan Ruiz hits it up, pull the vet, cross the Marnie Lebok. And for the kick in behind, it's an awkward one for Hudsonberg. Didn't quite get the kick where he wanted, but it is going to go into touch. And Edinburgh now have got themselves the scrum feed again. Marnie just wanted to give Frans Malharba another scrum. His first game back. Says Grant, so very generous of Marnie Lebok in that case. And to be honest, I think scrums are going to be pretty one-sided throughout this game. I don't really see Edinburgh being able to fire back with the same firepower with that much of a disadvantage in the weight department. And Germany here, how's the farming lifestyle on the hill, eh? Says Blues Nate. The Stormers' 4-game winning run in the URC ended with their 22-40 loss to the Bulls in Pretoria in round 11 is the stat that has just come up. One moment. I've got the water bottle. And Frick Dupree was the only lock I saw who dropped a ball. There's Outlaw. Andre Smith just getting a little bit of medical attention. Looks like it's more strapping on one of his legs, which are already extremely heavily strapped. I hope Edinburgh takes the hit on the scrum. Says Shafiq, and how's it, brother? I hope you had some coffee and you got something planned for breakfast. I don't think so. I think I'm just going to be going to sleep, unfortunately, but it'll be all right. I'll be able to have some lunch, probably more than likely once I wake up. Tablecloth coming over the mountain. What a sight. Says Grant. And how is the fullback for Edinburgh? Says Connor. So that is Emiliano Boffelli. He's a very talented player for Argentina. Did well throughout that World Cup. Hasn't really hit the ball too much as of yet throughout the first 8 minutes of this contest. Edinburgh is a bit soft up front. Well, that's the thing. They're 100 kgs lighter up front. So that makes a big difference. Looks like Hudsonberg wrestled down to the ground. Pull the vet back across to Andre Smith. Almost breaking through was the big man Franz Malharba. Now the vet goes across to Lebok. Evan Ruiz. Nice pop pass out to Dan Duplessis. Now Valimza. Look for another pass. Evan Ruiz goes up to the 22. Now I should mention, I think there were some late changes for the Stormers. Cross kick. Player slips over for Edinburgh. And Hudsonberg scores the try. Out wide, it doesn't get much easier than that because there was no man defending him as he was too busy slipping over his own feet. And also, mate, you're a true legend up for what, 19 hours now? Says BDV, yeah, somewhere around there. Our 5th live stream of that 19-hour period, but it's been very exciting. Rugby all across the day. A great offloading coming from the Stormers. Then Mani Lebok was able to get that original pass away. Ivan Ruiz showing some good size, some good strength. And then that cross kick from Mani Lebok. Not sure who that was. I think it was maybe, was it Wes Hoosen? Who ended up slipping over. Wasn't able to get there and help out wide. No, in fact, that was, I think that's Mark Bennett who ended up slipping over. Look at there, get in. Says Grant, South Africa, probably the best in the world. I'm over some much beer. Sorry, I meant love. Says Dion. Now Money Lebok to line up this one. That's the rugby we love to see. And hey, peeps, don't forget to smash that like button if you're new to the channel. Subscribe. Says BDV. Anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is greatly appreciated. You all being here for this match of the URC. Now, of course, there are still 2 more games taking place for South African sides this weekend, but sadly we will not be covering those ones on the channel, but we will be back for next weekend's games of the URC. That is a fantastic kick from Mani Lebok, sneaking it in the post, now making the score 7 points to 0. One moment, we will quickly go like this. I will get you the games that we are covering next week on the channel. Yeah, Hudsonberg, stay calm, because normally when you see a player slip in front of you, that then forces you to make little mistakes and slightly panic, but he's done extremely well. Keep his nerve and get that ball down. Now Paul the Vet passes across to Evan Ruiz. Doing well so far, getting those meters for the Stormers when the opportunity does arise. But yeah, for the games next week, we are covering Leinster versus the Bulls. We are covering Sharks versus Edinburgh. Stormers versus Ulster, and then maybe that game between Ospreys and Lions as well might be covered on the channel. Hudsonberg, good driving tackle on Viliami Mata. Always going pressure, or always under pressure is the comment from the referee. One moment, I'm about to sneeze, so I'll quickly mute myself. There we go, we are good. But Wes Hoosen went up for that one. Ended up getting knocked backwards. But there is still the scrum for these Stormers. Do let me know your score predictions for this game as well, ladies and gentlemen. 12 minutes in at the moment. Stormers ahead by 7. They are chasing a bonus point winners that will take them right up to 5th place on the overall table, which is such a massive leap for just one victory. I mean, we saw the Sharks. They managed to boost themselves up, I believe, 2 spots on the table with their victory over the Ulster side. Now Ben Vellacott feed this ball in again for Edinburgh. This is about our 5th scrum that we've seen of this contest. And most of the time we've seen some dominance being shown by the Stormers. A good holding scrum though now. Viliami Mata shows off his strength as he pulls Paul de Vet along with him. It looked like a bit like number cover. In fact, it is, yes. And number 6. I think did I show the wrong lineup for the Stormers? My Stormers lineup is a lot different to the one that they actually went with. Here is the Stormers lineup that I had, ladies and gentlemen. That does not look right. In fact, that is the completely wrong starting lineup for them in this game. So luckily, we did say it differently afterwards, but that is going to be the try this time for Jacob Henry, I believe. Yes, it is. Gets over the try line. 14 minutes in, Edinburgh managed to fire back. That is a big try too, because they are considered as big underdogs in this contest. And let's go, boom. That's the rugby we love to see. And also Stormers and the Sharks are helping the Bulls. Thank you, boys. Says Outlaw. But just showing a little bit more intent to try and grab that ball. And then breaks through. Scores his debut try for Jacob Henry. Jeez, Dan du Plessis threw himself well and truly at that tackle, but just went straight over the top. It'll be 15 minutes through. Well, that didn't go so well, says Grant. Lining up this kick for Ben Healy. His first kick of the game, and it is straight between the posts. Now the score 7-all between these two sides. There are still going to be plenty of late turns, I would say, throughout this matchup. It was Audrey Smith, went to Evan Ruiz, who just pretty much threw the ball away, gave it to the Edinburgh side, then drive over and score himself a debut try for Jacob Henry. A kick up on the halfway line for the Stormers. Taking his time, Marnie Libok, trying to slow this down a little bit. Have his side get back into the focus mindset. Take and run from Sam Skinner. Ball is available. Vellacott goes across to Jamie Hodgson. They're still inside of their 22, so we'll look to clear their lines with Ben Healy. Actually goes for the left up and under rather than looking for distance. It's claimed by Marnie Libok on the halfway line. You can't really afford to give the ball to the Stormers when they're on the halfway line, because that allows them to get that back 3 flowing, whether that's Valimza, whether it is Lelian Zas, and then also Hudsenberg, who is now in possession. 30 metres out from the line. Evan Ruiz going around the side of the breakdown. Marnie Libok pop pass up to Baroque Harris. Phase play building here for the Stormers. Ruben van Jeren finds his offload away to Damien Valimza, who was asking for the deliberate knockdown, and he does receive the advantage from the referee. Lelian Zas tried to keep it in the field of play, and they will go back. In fact, no, it was just a knock on. It's just a knock on. They got some ground. Or is it? No, they are going back for the original knock on. Originally, the referee was going to play the line out in favour of Edinburgh, but now decides that he will go back instead to play the scrum for the Stormers. But yeah, there wasn't a lot in it, just a little half touch as he was trying to make the tackle. Ahika only 17 minutes into the game. Are you saying wake up? I can't see who's sleeping, says a Blues Nay. So if I was seeing 2 scrums won by Edinburgh and we're seeing 1 scrum lost by them, Stormers have not actually had a scrum feed as of yet, so this is actually their first chance of the game. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and bulldoze their way over this Edinburgh forward pack. They've got that weight advantage. They've got some capable scrummagers there in Franz Malharba as well as Baroque Harris. They are steady at scrum time. Ball is now fed in. Good job from Edinburgh. They have held solid. Scrum that I think the Stormers even expected to be able to drive them backwards. But here comes Dan Duplessis. Runs it hard. The ball's gone backwards. Says the referee, Damien Valimza with the ball on the outside. And Lillian Zuss has got it in the corner again. And yes, life is life come on the Stormers. Lillian Zuss, 2 tries. Damien Valimza, he shines his boot. Now, that celebration, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, he did that celebration in the URC final last year, and then they ended up losing to Munster. And watching Frans Malama's scrum, it makes me feel things, says Grant. Hudsonberg scores it in the corner, the second try of the contest for the Stormers as well as for Lillian Zuss. And get in. It is in, yes. And now the chance from the touchline for Mani Libok to be able to line up this kick. Here's 1 from 1. This one's 46 metres out though on the angle. A lot more challenging than his first kick. Almost 19 minutes into this game. I think it's going to be a much higher scoring game than the Sharks matchup that we did just see up against Ulster. The end score in that game was 22 points to 12. I think we're going to have 22 points to 12 by the time we get to half time in this game. And go, you good things, get in there. And Stormers Rugby, baby, says Grant. Now lining up this kick. 4 seconds remaining on the shot clock. And he has brought it back. It's gone over. It hit the post, hit the crossbar, and still bounced over for Mani Libok. When you've got the luck, you've got the luck. And that man's got it at the moment. Stormers Fever says Outlaw. And that pass on the outside to get it to Lillian Zuss and then trying to cover. I believe it was actually Wes Husson. He's at 15, so I think that was a late change. And Emiliano Boffelli originally was going to be in the starting side. Maybe an injury has left him out, but it's kicked off line. We got the donation. Chick, chick, boom. Says Franz there as well. Thank you very much, mate. He meant that, says Gus. I'm sure he did. Wanted to hit the crossbar as well as the post, just to add a bit more flair to the kick. Stormers back inside of their 22. All of it ready to kick this one. And what a kick, money boy, says Grant. Now nicely taken by Johan Goossen. 40 metres out. Vellicott goes across to the big man WP. Now he's driven backwards by Ben Jason Dixon. And I was like, Libok, says Maminia. Yeah, I'd be very surprised if he misses out on a Springbok selection just around the corner. Although saying that, the only way that he misses out, I believe, is due to injury. Other than that, though, it's going to be a very strong option for the Bok once again. Let's go, Franz Smith. Boom, says the Blues, Nate. Paul DeVette looking to the right-hand side, goes across to Brock Harris. Runs it at Viliami Mata. Again, Paul DeVette rolls it back. He's been told to use it as this Zuss dude new. No, Lillian Zuss has been around for 3 years at the Stormers, I want to say. Didn't get a lot of game time a wee while ago because they had the likes of Sinatla. But because he's out on that left wing, I think he's getting more opportunities. But then saying that Hudsonberg is out there as well. Oh, wait, no, that was Hudsonberg, sorry, who scored that try rather than Lillian Zuss, I believe. I think I got the wrong winger for that last one. And Hamish, do you remember Boom, 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 Boom? I Want You in My Room. I do indeed. I never sung it personally, but I know of the song. And Gear Jammer for the Stormers. Another penalty going their way here. Another cover. Doing well there. And Gear Jammer for the Stormers. Now kicking this one towards the touchline for Mani Libok. That one has found touch this time. Actually opting to use his left boot rather than his right. And Franz Mahaba, the beast, move him. Go on, Rambo, says Blues Nate. The clean out was just a little bit too late coming from Edinburgh. At the moment, the win predictor has 81% in favour of the Stormers. And if they're able to score again before halftime, that odd could go even more in their favour. We will go like that. And like that. There we go. Paul DeVet. Now, pop pass after Audrey Smith. Paul DeVet sees the space. Snipes through it. Gets it away to Similani. And this is looking very impressive for the Stormers. Hardly any penalty kicks today. Yeah, both sides wanting to go for the corner when available. Zus has been around for ages. They even wasted a year at the Sharks, says Grant. And hardly any penalty kicks today, says Ryan. And also Stormers going to do the Bulls a favour here. Nice pass, Similani. They're doing themselves a favour though. That is the big thing for the Stormers. If they win this game with a bonus point, they move up to 5th on the table. There's a knock on though, 5 metres out from the opposition try line. But yeah, they'll go from 9th to 5th in one fell swoop. I'll show there the table. Currently, this is where the Stormers are sitting. They are on 30 points. If they win this game, they get 35. That is with the bonus point intact. And they would move right up ahead of Edinburgh. Still a lot of games to come, of course, in this weekend. Ulster didn't receive the bonus point in their game up against the Sharks, so that hurt them a bit, as they could have still been close to being ahead of the Stormers had they been able to receive it. We've seen 2 handling errors from the Stormers compared to the 1 of Edinburgh at this stage of the contest. But the Sharks, after their win, they are actually now sitting on 14 points. They will be up there in 13th place. Making a nice burst forward. Could be a good round for South African sides to progress their way up the table. For the Lions, they have got their game coming up very soon up against Connacht. If they win that, they theoretically could find themselves sitting right up in 6th place. So there's a lot on the line for these two sides. They are just showing the kicking for these two sides. I think it is currently the drinks break at the game due to the heat that they are playing in. And today I support the Stormers, says Outlaw, and I see, says cool story, bro. Now 5 metres out from the line. Edinburgh have got their own scrum feed, but not exactly on the position in the field that they want to be. Got to try and make some metres somewhere along the lines without the Stormers being able to counter-attack, which they have been able to do so well. In play so far. We've seen 8 from the Stormers. That is going to be the free kick now for Edinburgh. Pushing the legs forward, says the referee. It's scrum time, so it means that Ben Healy has a freebie. Kick this one into touch without being challenged, which means he can just put as much distance on it as he can. He's got a lot of height on it there. Ben Healy gets it down to about 30 metres. Stormers, you beauty, says Danny Funsitis. Hopefully I said that correctly. 2 tries already coming for the Stormers in the first 25 minutes of this game, and they have looked likely to score again here. And with a chance at line-out time, backline that has been electric. And Edinburgh's kicking strategy is going to bite them in the arse. The Stormers back 3 are going to run that ball back at you. So he's ground and falling in and out of love with the Stormers. I see claimed by Ruben van Heeren. Now across Paul DeVet. Goes one more into the midfield for Dan du Plessis. Oh, Similani goes through. Pins his ears back. He's going to be dragged down 2 metres out from the try line. Around the side, Lillian Zus tried the pick and go. Now they just need one of the big forwards. Ivan Ruiz wanted it. Paul DeVet decides that he wants to be the big forward. That did not work for him. Giovanni has second evening game. Let's go the Stormers. Welcome in, mate. Still only 2 metres out from the line here for the Stormers. Ball is there for Nabakaba. Across to Franz Miller-Harber. Tackled by his opposite number, WP now. Back across Ben Jason Dixon. Push towards the opposition. You're not actually allowed to do that, I don't believe, for Dan du Plessis. So he might have gotten away with it there. As I believe, if I'm correct, there is that rule that says you're not allowed to push your teammate into the opposition defence. 5 metres out, though, for the Stormers. Nabakaba gets a little bit closer. And now Ivan Ruiz has overrun it. It's a knock-on from the Stormers number 8. And scrum now again for the Edinburgh side. Just those little mistakes, though. That is twice now that they've dropped the ball within 5 metres of the opposition try line. And Amish, my brother, what's been happening? Can't seem to find this game on Stan, says Jobo. If you have got access to New Zealand's, like a VPN for New Zealand, you can watch this game on TVNZ Plus as a bit of a recommendation. Homer Rugby, they reckon, says Jobo. Yeah, Homer Rugby, except they don't show pretty much any of the games that are taking place around the world. Go Stormers, you are the best team ever, #1 in the whole world, as a sign that I have just read for one of the supporters. Currently throughout this first 27 minutes, they have found themselves with a bit of a lead here, the Stormers. Come on, Russ, says Grant. And Stormers, this is a must-win, says Rudy. Exactly right. And if they win it with a bonus point, they put themselves into 5th place on the overall table, which I'm sure they will be more than happy with. 13 minutes remaining in this first half. It has been flowing a lot better, though, than the last game that we saw. We've only had 5 minutes of stoppages, whereas that last contest, in total, I believe I counted around 40 minutes of stoppages. Maybe 30. I think I might have exaggerated a bit. It was still a very long time, though, and that's not including half time as well, I should mention. Now, Villacott about to feed this ball in for the Edinburgh side. They are only just out from their own goal line, so once again, they find themselves trying to relieve some of that pressure. It's gone down in the front row, so we will have, yet again, another scrum reset. One Finta. Go down. Just collapses under the pressure of Franz Malharba. I think I jinxed this game by saying that the score was going to be around that 22-12 mark by half time. Ever since then, we haven't seen any points being scored. A real homegrown game for the Stormers. There's Outlaw. 2 tries on the board for the Stormers. They are halfway towards that winning bonus point for Edinburgh. They would need 3 more tries for them to be able to receive that same honour. Stable. Ball is fed in. And it's now available. Front rows have collapsed. Now Ben Healy off his left boot. Didn't look as confident kicking that one. Hasn't managed to find touch, which allows Damien Valimza to run it up to the halfway line. Tries to step. Healy has made the tackle. Paul de Vet across to the left-hand side. Ruben van Heeren. As discussing how the man in the street is prevented from watching international sport, says Stefan. Yeah, I still feel like there should be a lot more free-to-air games that take place. Like, the good news about, like, this URC, any games involving South Africa are free-to-air here in New Zealand. So we don't have to have a subscription or anything to be able to watch it. Whereas if we want to watch Super Rugby, you have to pay like $40 a month for Sky Pass on the outside. Lillian Zas, he's been ankle tapped. That was one of the only things saving them for now, but then the offload came. And the Similani does score another try for the Stormers. Stormers do it with a bonus, guy says Danny. And also cricketers doing good, showing all local games. Says Outlaw. Oh. Did he score that Similani? I saw there was a little bit of separation there, but I don't think... Oh, hang on. They'll have to look at a replay of that because that looked pretty bad from that angle. They're going to go upstairs and have a look at this one. They want it to be slowed down. I believe it should still be a try. And they're going to turn time off just to make sure he has put this one down. Now, they've already knocked on the ball twice within the 5 metres. We're going to see here. Nope, he's got like 1 half finger on it. On-field decision was a try, so they need clear, conclusive evidence that there is separation of the ball and the hand. And yeah, that's debatable. I think it's going to count as a try. That looks dodgy. There's Grant. They're just showing the 2 best angles as they've called it. Like, at best, he's got half a finger controlling that ball. But that's at best. Like, there, that looks like there's no real control of the ball other than maybe a thumb press. But the on-field decision was try. The referee asking the question, what will the decision be to the TMO? TMO, I wouldn't want to be him at the moment trying to make the decision here. Is there some sort of pressure from Similani? Yeah, looks like a knock on when the TMO gets involved. I just get the shivers, says Stefan. Okay, they've said that one of the camera angles is very blurry, was the comment. I don't know what accent that was from him. I tried to mimic it, but I don't even know where. On my screen, mate. He might be Scottish, maybe. I agree, mate. What is that accent? Maybe English, but it is going to be called as a knock-on. And it is going to be the Edinburgh ball. So there will be no try for the Stormers. That's a knock-on for me, but I'll happily take a try. Says Grant. We found love with the Stormers, says Outlaw there. So the footage was blurry. On-field decision was try. Going to be a goal line dropout here. Scottish, says Moira. Kind of had a soft Scottish accent, didn't he? Rather than one of those real strong ones. I don't know what part of Scotland that means he's from. Although I wouldn't think they'd have a Scottish... Nah, would they have a Scottish TMO in a game involving a Scottish team? Knock on is a fair call. Says Grant. And Marco's having a power game for the Saracens. If it is a knock-on one camera, it is a knock-on every camera, no matter what angle. Says yikes, but now on the halfway line, the Stormers in possession again. 30 minutes in. They have been able to score themselves the 2 early tries. Andre Hugafenta hits the ball up. Now the vet going to Mani Libok. Pass away to Ben Jason Dixon. Got the waving from Hurian as well. Welcome in, mate. All the vet. Inside ball to Andre Hugafenta. It's a bit further forward. Now the vet goes to Dan Duplessis on the short side. Hot pass up to Evan Ruiz. And I wouldn't know Hugh Jones is Scottish if he spoke. Says Mimanair. It's going to be loose. Advantage in favour of the Stormers for a knock-on from Edinburgh. Now Van Heerden, 40 metres out, but they have had much better phase play in this game compared to Edinburgh, the Stormers, although dropping that ball 3 times now within 5 metres of Edinburgh's line. Good attack and run from Ben Jason Dixon. Look for the offload up at Jave Cherry. Was able to cut it off and now fires it back into the pocket to Ben Healy. He's not able to kick this ball out on the forward. He's wrestled down by Lillian Zass. And now Edinburgh have to try and protect that ball again inside of their own 22. Territory-wise, the stat has to be about 70% in favour of the Stormers at the moment. Dave Cherry hits it up at Andre Smith. Ball being rolled back again here. Ben Villicott does put it high. We'll have to try and avoid that challenge coming through from Andre Smith. Now line out for these Stormers again. I will mention anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are back with the Bulls versus Leinster next week. It is going to be a late night game on the Friday night for you guys in South Africa. It's going to be an extremely entertaining fixture. Sharks versus Edinburgh taking place at 2 a.m. next week, and also Stormers versus Ulster. Those are the other 2 games that we are hoping to cover on the channel as well. Now, overthrown, slapped back by Franz Malherbe. Now claimed by Mani Libok. Looks like Namakaba is going to be tied up here. Doesn't quite get the hands on the ground, or at least a knee on the ground. On-field decision should have the final say. Ref closer to the ball. Says Danny. Side of the 22 is the comment from the referee. Can boot this ball into touch if they'd like. So they want a couple more phases to try and build up a better angle. Now Velicott will back it himself. Does just fine touch. Good clearing kick. Refs 2 bang. or to bang to overrule the TMO. Says Mimania. That will be the line out for Andre Hugo Fenta. And hooked on a feeling, Stormers. Says outlawing. They've certainly been the strongest side throughout this first half, but their breaking run of the mistake of Evan Ruiz for the Edinburgh side have just kept them in this game a little bit more. And repeat mistakes from the Stormers just out from their own line, and bang, equals scared. And also Stormers Ulikading, says Julian there. The halfway line, Paul de Vet. Cross to Dan Duplessis. Taken by Healy, now changing direction. Marnie Libok with the cross kick attempted. Knocked on out wide. Ball is loose. Lillian Zus cleans it up. And that will be their third try of the contest. Not sure what happened to Edinburgh. They seemed to almost fall asleep there after the ball was knocked on, as if they were just going to go back for the scrum. But the Stormers took the opportunity. Lillian Zus gets the try. Now they've taken a bit more of a lead in this contest. The try that they have been searching for. I think that their problem has been they've been getting too close to the Edinburgh line. When they're within 5 metres, they drop the ball. When they're out there countering from the halfway line, that is when they seem to be able to score their tries. Yeah, Edinburgh not finding that pass that they needed, and just those little mistakes caused Lillian Zus to be able to run it in. Like they said, one of the easier tries that he will score throughout his career. It just sits up, and he does score it for the Stormers, and the cheerleaders are loving it. Stormers will be loving it too, because they are now only one try away from a bonus point on the board. Of course, for that bonus point to be really substantial, they do still need to win this game. With how they are sitting now heading into half-time, I'm sure they'll be relatively happy with where they are. Marty Libok, though, he is sitting 100% accuracy for today. Sitting 2 kicks from 2. And I actually have a big passion for the game, bro. You will go far. Says Outlaw. Here we have covered a lot of games on the channel. I believe we're up to, I want to say 1,400 live streams or something ridiculous like that. One moment, I'll be able to find the stat here. How many live streams have we done on the channel? We have done 1,555 live streams. That seems like too many, to be honest. It's a bloody big number. If you work on the theory that each of those games, some of which are 7s, of course, but if you work on the theory that each of those games average out to being an hour, that is 1,500 plus hours that we've done as streaming. There's only 24 hours in a day. And that is only after, who's kicked it into his teammate there, Dan Duplessis. So I think that is accidental offside, but it's going to be a line out here for the Stormers. Thanks for letting us see the game. Load shedding in our area, says Danny. And also look what happens when you don't drop the ball over the line and hang in there, young man, says Ilmar. Just remember, Hamish, you will never watch as many games as Outlaw. That is true. And let's go Marnie and the Stormers, although he has missed that one, Marnie Libok, so now sitting with 19 points to 7. And Edinburgh a chance to fire straight back, heading towards half-time. Thrown in, almost stolen, but nicely claimed. Viliami Mata straight through. Missed tackle from Marnie Libok, left a gap the size of South Africa, and Edinburgh straight back. That is their first attack that they've had in about 20 minutes. And they've now gone in. Viliami Mata's laughing. He's going, that was too easy. Where was the defence? And that'll be exactly what the Stormers are asking themselves too. Just offloads back. Marnie Libok decided to go low. Didn't even get an arm wrapped around. Hang on. Was there a knock on there from Viliami Mata? They might have to check that one as well. We're going to see the replay now. They slammed that down first. And Edinburgh get back into the contest with a nice easy boot straight out in front of the post. Marnie Libok, he's actually been busted open. Looks like he's cut down the middle of his forehead. And he is dripping with the blood there. I can't believe we've done 1,500 plus live streams on the channel. And then that's not including videos as well, we should mention. Videos, we have done a total, I feel like this is going to be just as, we've done, oh, okay, that's pretty low, 700 videos. So we've done about 2,200 videos and streams on the channel in the past kind of 3.5 years. No wonder I'm losing my marbles. And Oof says, Gus, yeah, great answer back. Now Johan Hussen does make his way forward. Matea has made his way out there, and Province, a fan since 1963. They have seen a few matches. Hamish says Ilmar and Betterton 13, Scarlets 3. Says Birdie V for the other game that has taken place at the same time. Tackle Stormers says Outlaw, and Masterclass Hamish says Tar and there as well. But now 40 seconds remaining. It's claimed by the Stormers. Consider the quick throw, and they're still considering it, but in the end, they will instead go with the line out here. Still 20 seconds remaining in this first half, and Edinburgh are not out of this game, though the Stormers, with the position that they are on the field, feel like they've got a relatively, oh, okay, I know what it is now. It's actually the boot that's come up and cut Marnie Libok. Should cause him to go from the field, but here comes Andre Hugo Fenta, throws it in nicely to the back, Paul Davet, Matea gets it across to Dan Duplessis, another missed tackle from Edinburgh, Similani passes on the outside, and Valimza unselfishly, fair play to him, gives it to Lilian Zas, and it's another try for the Stormers. You never sleep, says Johannes. That is probably another reason why I've lost my marbles. But brilliant try to score near the end of half time, or near the end of the first half, I should say. Does manage to score it. Dan Duplessis always consistent in the way that he's able to run forward. And then Damien Valimza saw the cover defence of Johan Hussen was making its way across. The Stormers need to prevent Edinburgh to score so easily in the second half. Well, that's the thing. The Stormers have done exactly what they need to get their bonus point. The question is, will they walk away with 5 points from this game, or will they walk away with 2? Because they've still got to make sure they win it. That is the main thing now, and lovely try, says Grant Swartz. And now Matea. This will be his first kick of the game. And yes, the Stormers Jaulikading, says Rudy. And lines it up, and he's got it as well for Matea. And Stormers do it for the Mother City, says Danny. But now half-time in this contest, 26 points to 14. An entertaining first half in which has had more points scored than the whole game between the Sharks and Ulster. Both these teams just coming out firing, trying to score as often as possible. I'd have to say the Stormers, in terms of the possession and whatnot in this first half, have to be heavy favourites going into the second half. Oops. I did click the wrong button there. There we go. So the stats for this game so far. We've seen 4 tries scored by the Stormers. Of course, in this league, that gives you the bonus point. They've had 67% possession. They've had 12 clean breaks compared to the 1 of Edinburgh. And they've had 15 defenders beaten compared to the 6 of Edinburgh throughout that first half. Also making 11 offloads compared to the 1 of Edinburgh. 77% possession, territory. And thanks for the exciting commentary, sir, says Danny. Thank you very much for being here, mate. It is greatly appreciated. They've missed a few tackles, the Stormers. They've made 25, they've missed 6. So their tackle success is actually 81, whereas Edinburgh have almost made 90, well, they've almost made the 100. They've made 96 so far throughout this game. 2 penalties against Edinburgh and none against the Stormers at this stage of the contest. But Lillian Zas scoring himself the 2 tries. Also, I should mention, he's got the most running meters out of any player in this game with 75. We've seen 12 tackles made by Viliami Mate, and he also managed to get himself the try later on. Stormers do it for the top 8. Let's get it, Stormers. Says Blues Nat, and also YouTube in the ads in between the stream. Says a Birdie V. And also we have got their English Gerhard Vivius Hamish. Says outlaw. Second half. Just around the corner. We'll go like this. And like that as well. So, in terms of the betting odds for this one, ladies and gentlemen, of course, are just around the corner. Okay, it says I've got an ad on the TVNZ app, and it's going to be a 54-minute ad. I assume that that is wrong. I'd like to think anyway. Halftime at Benetton versus the Scarlets, says BDV. Yeah, the odds for this one, as we currently sit, they are just loading. Rugby Union. Saracens, they are heavy favourites up against the Quins. Scarlets, heavy underdogs. And Edinburgh are actually $15 underdogs in their game. So, not the easiest one for them overall. We'll go like that. And we will go like that as well. There we go. So yeah, quite one-sided, but you actually can't bet on it at the moment. They have got it locked out. I assume that is because of that late try coming from the Stormers. They are still adjusting it. They actually have it. I didn't know they did that. They actually have an anytime try scorer in this game. I don't think that was a thing. I didn't know they did that for the URC. They must be new. I don't know. But Damien Valimza, $6 to score himself a try is what it has got as the odds. The most likely to score, though, is Andre Hugo Finta, followed by Evan Ruiz. Commentators just talking about their aggressive nature. Why are there like 15 dinosaurs that have just run onto the field at Cape Town Stadium? They must be doing some sort of halftime show or something along those lines. Anyway, and got the braai going here. Got some steak and chicken ready with a noodle salad and garlic rolls. That sounds very good, Bertie. I'll be honest. Like, I ate, what did I have for tea? I had a few little fish bites. That was all I've had. So something along those lines sounds absolutely immense, I do have to say. Interesting at the moment in that game between Benetton and the Scarlets, though. 13 points to 3 in favour of Benetton. And blackout for the Scots. And also Stormers must thank the Bulls who gave them a good fight. Losing previous game with a big score, says Leon Janssen. Yeah, I guess that was one of those games that did slightly wake them up and made them go a bit more aggressive. That's in this contest. They wanted to get as many tries as they could early. And, you know, it's working out not too badly as they currently sit. I'm just looking through in terms of who they think is going to score tries in the upcoming URC games. I think that they have still got it as an option. Yeah, they do, for the Lions and for the Bulls. Even though the Bulls are heavy favourites, they do actually have the anytime try scorer thing, and they feel like the most likely option for a try to be scored by the Bulls is going to be Sebastian de Klerk alongside Caden Moody and Kutli Arnsa. And also Jan Hendrik Wessel, so a lot of low odds there. The South has a history of deserting games the first few months of the year. Why? The European countries have played a fair amount so far. Please don't forget, while you are here, to smash that like button and subscribe if you are new. And also we've got the Iana's in there, who has just pretty much just run his fingers across his keyboard by the looks of it. He's kind of gone there and then up and then docs. He's managed. How do you spell docs so easily, Jan, in that process? I guess we could ask the question. Second half, just around the corner though. Marnie Libok, he got cut open pretty bad, so I don't think he will be back in this matchup, which is a bit of a concern, as currently they are playing extremely well, but they won't want to lose him for too much time. We're going to ask the question, ladies and gentlemen, who do we think will score a try in this second half? Do let me know. I think Damien Williams is in with a real good shot and Stormers to pour it on Edinburgh to hang on. I think the Stormers will try and really pour it on, get that points differential flowing, because currently, like the way that they sit, they aren't doing too bad on the points differential department. They have got the differential of plus 36, but if they can win this game by 20 plus points, that starts to boost them just that little bit further up. I think they are just showing, or at least playing the commentary from earlier on involving the, what's it called, the Afrikaans commentary for that one, or it might have been Scorsa. And in fact, but looking through at the reserves bench for both of these sides, Joseph Dweba, Nkaboka, and also kneeling for Share, then Kai Evans and Diamani. Now, I'm not sure if these are actually correct, because I'm a little bit worried that I have got the wrong lineups, just like I have for the starting lineup, but I believe this is correct because Matea has made his way on, and also they have got Herschel Yankees alongside Ben Loader for Edinburgh. I'll be honest, like there's not really too much on the bench that I think will change this game drastically overall. I think that they're really going to have to rely on those guys on the starting side to start boosting them for. Canal has got the laughing face there. I love how Skulkberger is not even trying to be impartial on the Supersport feed. There's Grant and Katzenel. Since we joined the URC, our boys are equally conditioned as the Northern Hemisphere guy, says Mimania. Yeah, they've been doing very well in this URC competition. How likely are we to see the same amount of tries for the Stormers, I wonder, in the second half? I feel like there's still a pretty good shot that we see them do quite well. Now, off the bench, they've got Ben Loader, so I believe that means that Valimza will be out there for the full game. Similani, I think, will get maybe another half, possibly. And that's the correct lineup for the Stormers. Says Grant, I know certainly that starting lineup that I showed was not, though. This one here, this is like completely wrong. Wada Kalant is not playing. Damien Valimza is not at 12. Herschel Yankees was not starting. Dion Ferri's not playing. Diamani's not playing. But yeah, I don't know what's happened there. I know that Edinburgh's lineup is relatively close to right, although I think that they've had a couple changes. I think that is actually due to Emiliano Boffelli being out. But it's still not completely right. So we must have had a shocker there. I think I got those late at night when I was half asleep. And Cats and Six Nations being so early. Kicks the year off early. Says Jimbo there as well. But we are close to the second half getting underway, ladies and gentlemen, for this contest. Hopefully not too far from another entertaining half. Up around the corner, down in the street. Says world champs twice. Question. World champs twice in what? Because, like, surely, like, that's, like, now if you're talking Springboks, world champs 4 times. So twice would have been before 2019's World Cup as well, if it is the Springboks, unless it's a different team. Maybe, like, it's the Sevens, or it's, what else have we had 2 times for the world champs in? Not sure. But do let me know, like, where'd the name come from, out of curiosity. Why are they showing? They're showing an ad for cats at the moment here in New Zealand. Just random animals jumping, which is a bit of fun. We don't mind a bit of jumping animals here in New Zealand. But yeah, second half just around the corner from starting, ladies and gents. I have a huge crush on Sahara from my school, and she's Maori. Says a Levi. Okay. I don't know how to help you because I don't really talk to women much. You know, I'm more of a do 1,500 live streams from my lounge and 700 videos. But I'm sure someone will give you some advice. It's just probably not going to be me. And back at the ranch, Stormers are playing well. Says Outlaw. And I was IPL up to date. Kolkata Knight Riders scored 208 for 7. And Sunrisers Hyderabad chasing 209 to win. That's actually the same amount as they were chasing in my cricket final today. I didn't play in it, of course, because our team got knocked out early. But, you know, they weren't able to chase it down, fun fact. So maybe that's the same in this contest. All right, we will go like this. And like that. And hopefully, by the time that this loads, we will be close to the start of the second half here. Hamish only talks to girls over 60. Says Grant. Fun fact, Grant. We're going bowling for my cricket breakup. So we will be at that bowling alley. So who knows what's going to happen. You know. But fun fact as well, cricket breakup, I don't think anyone really cares per se in terms of the awards, but I did get 2 awards for cricket, which was quite fun. So your coaching must have paid off, Grant. We got ourselves on the trophy department. But for anyone wondering about who's coming up next for these 2 sides, I just realised I haven't actually shown it as of yet. But for the Stormers, they have got themselves Ulster next week. Then they've got La Rochelle in the Champions Cup round of 16. Now, the last time that those 2 sides played in the Champions Cup in South Africa, the Stormers got themselves a very close, hard-fought victory. Then they've got a break, and then they are back into the action up against the Ospreys, then Leinster, and then the Dragons taking on the Stormers in 49 days' time. Then for Edinburgh, they are actually going to be playing the Sharks next week. The Sharks getting themselves their 2nd victory of the season. Looking to build on that now, getting themselves a few more under their belt. And well done, Hamish. Says Grant, she's 12, says Levi. Yeah, see, I don't talk to many 12-year-olds. In fact, I talk to no 12-year-olds, so I have no idea how you would approach that, Levi. But, I mean, I don't know what advice to give you. Well, back when we were younger, you used to always get someone like who was your friend to go and tell them that you liked them. Like, you never did it yourself. Nowadays, it's probably social media. You do like a TikTok dance or something. And that probably doesn't work, though, to be fair. But second half, I want this game to get back underway. And currently, the sad thing is, here in New Zealand, during the halftime break, we don't even get to see, like, the field. We get a black screen. So I'm just waiting patiently for them to find some coverage. We don't get replays of the tries. We just pure black screen, waiting for the next half. Stormers Voodoo is working today. Says Outlaw. And the chat as well. I don't know what's going to happen in the second half, though. I feel like there's a little bit of a 50. Oh, I hear noise. Hang on, the second half started. We are 41 minutes through, ladies and gentlemen. They forgot to start the coverage here in New Zealand. We're back underway, ready to go for the second half of rugby. So I think they're having technical difficulties, which is why they actually had a black screen, but it is in possession of the Edinburgh side here, who are down by 12 points. They need a big start to the second half to get them back in. Hopefully Levi is also 12, otherwise that situation becomes problematic. That is very true. And Stormer Hurricanes, says Outlaw. And there as well, let's go the Kiwi lads. Try time coming in the second half, says a Blues Nate. So I think both of these sides, they've shown in that first half, they've got more than enough capabilities of being able to score tries when the opportunity does arise. It's just whether or not they can turn it into those big points. Like I mentioned, Edinburgh need 2 converted tries, get them back into the contest. Stormers just want to extend that points differential as much as they physically can. Hello all, I'm on my 3rd pint, says Fleshin. And I should mention that Franz Malharba was taken from the field for the Stormers, so they've decided to make that early change in the second half, giving more opportunity to the man coming off the bench. Yeah, second half has started. Though for us here in New Zealand, they do just have the black screen, so hopefully that changes very soon. We can tell you exactly what is happening throughout this game. But like I mentioned, for the Stormers, they have got a game around the corner. No, I'm 9. Oh, so you're a bit older, Levi. That'll be an interesting scenario. Cheers, Bleshin. And we have got there 10 more to go, says a Blues Nate. And there as well. Now we've got an ad for sausage rolls. We don't want sausage rolls. We want to watch the rugby. I think that I've messed this one up a little bit here in New Zealand. Now we've got an ad for Weet-Bix. That's all well and good. But I believe the second half has started, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, the scoreboard is now ticking over. We're just going to wait there a little bit longer before they finish the ads so that we can then see the second half in action. And 5 or more to go. And I'm on my 3rd whiskey right there with you, bud. Now Edinburgh currently in possession, going to the right-hand side. We're going to start early on. He's just grown up into a man during the time I've known him. He now makes tough decisions that impact others, takes responsibility for it. Do I? What decisions do I make? Good story, bro. Probably a few, to be fair. But, Yeah, I mean, we started doing this when we were 21, I think, and now I'm 24. I actually forgot how old I was today when I was asked. Now passed across, flat run, not going through there for Hamish Watson. These are going to be hard meters to make. Well said, lad, says Blues Nate. Vellacott going across again. Ivan Ruiz looking for the turnover. What is it? Or what time is it in Christchurch? Currently sitting 5:11 a.m, although I'm not in Christchurch currently, but it is the same time zone as myself. Ball is stolen. Now Evan Ruiz has done well. It's going to be knocked on there by the Stormers, though. Hamish Watson on the halfway line, firing it across for Edinburgh. Advantages over and back there covering is Damien Valimza. Now looking for the 50-22, and he has got it. Brilliant kick downfield from Damien Valimza. And we're not getting any younger, Hamish. But how we're still here. See, Sebastian, yeah, that is true. Like, some of you guys have been here for the good, 2 years or so, which doesn't feel like that long. Like, it feels like it's only been, a year maximum, but yeah, it has been greatly appreciated. You guys all popping in and out each and every week, I should say. One moment, we will go like this. And we will go like that as well. And there we go. Right, line out here for Andre Hugo Fenta. Hamish's Gen Z. And mate, we all look old from the cost of living crisis. And what a kick, boy. Now Evan Ruiz, short side. Andre Hugo Fenta keeps the ball in the field of play for Paul de Vet, who offloads it out the back. Another one for Johan Nidley Fouché. Gets close to the try line here for the Stormers. Not sure if he's crossed the line because it's glitching for us here in New Zealand again. They are just on the verge of being able to score themselves a try. Hey, Seb has joined the fun, and good evening there, Mr. Seb. And Seb, I need to explain something. I only picked the side that that Grant said to go. Wait, was it Grant or Gareth? I think it was Gareth who told me to go with a certain side, only because I didn't know who the right side to pick was. So there's still a chance that I switch my mind before the end, or the start, of the English county cricket. Ball kicked into touch by Mani Libok, though, as they are going back for the original penalty advantage. That was given away. And Seb, how's it, mate? Here's a birdie V there as well. One moment, we are about to sneeze. Hopefully we can do it before the line. We are good. Now looking for the rolling maul. But he still doesn't care to look up what bricks is. See his good story, bro. Now thrown in. Nicely taken, this rolling maul. Looking good here for the Stormers. Getting close. Andre Hugo Fenta. Who's got that ball? Is it down? And is it over? It's held up. It's going to be the goal line dropout. Nabachaba was the player who was trying to go in and get himself a try there. Still plenty of time remaining in this contest, ladies and gentlemen. We have it'll be Gareth, who will force you to pick a team. And also we have the big love lads. Hope you're all well. See, as mentioned, I can't even remember what team I picked. I think I picked Lancashire. Maybe. I can't even remember though. I think it was either them or another team. If anyone is interested in French ladies, the French ladies. Bet the Irish ladies 38 points to 17. Only Gareth could have suggested those Southern bastards. Says Seb. Stormers and Edinburgh supporters, smash that like button if you're new to this channel. Subscribe, says Birdie V. Kick downfield. Now running back across Evan Ruiz. He's got support runs. Doesn't decide to use them. World champs twice. Actually 1995, 2007. I asked my son-in-law to give me a handle. He thought back-to-back, middle yellow, first red. 4 times I'll change it. Said World Cup twice. No, World Cup twice works well. It rolls off the tongue. Damien Valimza trying to go through. Paul de Vet back across the Mani Libok. There might have been a player taken out. Evan Ruiz now. Ball on the outside. And for the corner, Hudsonberg gets another one. They'll just check whether or not there was a little bit of obstruction, but it's the hat-trick for Hudsonberg now. He's absolutely loving it out there. Is that a hat-trick or is that 2 tries? Hudsonberg, I know he's got at least one other. I'm the oldest I've ever been in my life, on my honour. Now, nice little pop bar. Similani went out to Evan Ruiz. And one more. A world champs thrice. Says, cool story, bro. And all is good on my side, Sebastian, as always. Nice to see you, lad. Says Blues, Nate. Ooh, is his foot in touch? Maybe not. I think he's going to be all right there for Hudsonburg. And let's go Stormers, says Poulet. They haven't had a look at the replay again. I think they might now be checking it, though. And now that is a proper Cape Town rugby, says Grant. And let's go to Stormers, says Poulet. He told me you picked Surrey unforgivable. Did I? Who's your team, Seb? Is it Lancashire? Because I play for Lancashire on my Cricket 22 career mode. Because I thought that was the right team. But then I think Surrey, I can't remember who he said they have. They have like Rory Burns. Maybe. That's about it that I can remember. And now Money Lebok lining up this kick from the touchline. It has missed. The score does sit 31 points to 14. Talking about Similani. And also, did the score not change? They scored again. Says Bullet. It has now changed. They are sitting 31 points to 14. Hudsonburg or Feinberg, who is the better young talent so far. I mean, Hudsonburg's looking the goods. At the moment, Lancashire, the Mighty Red Rose. So yeah, that's who I play for on Cricket 22. So that's probably who I should support. But then saying that, can I support both? Will that get me in trouble? Probably. Dan Duplessis now kicks that ball up high. Taken by Edinburgh on the halfway line. Here comes Wes Hawson. Sits down Dan Duplessis. Right him off to sleep. Good night and all. And thanks for the great streams, Hammy. Good luck to both teams. It's going to be the penalty now going the way of Edinburgh. We'll see you later on, Petty. And balls all the way, says Timothy. Yeah, comfortable lead at the moment for the Stormers. And still 30 minutes remaining. I had Stormers by 14, but I'm guessing this is going to get messy, says Jimbo. Yeah, as much as Edinburgh are trying to keep in this game, it's just every time they get half a chance, the Stormers are also able to score themselves the try, which then just extends that lead that little bit more. Good sit down from Dan Duplessis or from the Wes Hudson charge forward. So now Uncle Boka has made his way onto the field. That is for Brock Harris. And great call, Hammy. I'm tired, tugging sleep time, brother. Oh, have fun. I'm off, of course, you, Sebastian, unless you hit Blackpool Town tonight. And also, they will be the top two teams competing for the county championships. You have to pick one because the fight is gonna be tight. Oh, okay, so in the final, I have to pick one. Maybe throughout the season, I can get away with backing both. An applause for the Stormers, says Outlaw. You currently have got themselves 5 tries on the board. Counter ruck coming there, Velicott. That's offside by 1.5 meters, and now almost scoring, but he's dropped that ball. Velicott looks like he wants to take this quick. I would go to the left. I don't think they're going to do that. They want to slow it down instead. Edinburgh kick this one possibly for the quarter, or they might just consider that quick tap as their best option here. Players have to be on the line. Says the referee. Yep, they are just going for the quick tap and go here for Edinburgh. Up a team, Amish. This is full of splinters. And as long as you don't support Yorkshire, I won't go mental. Who's in the Yorkshire team out of curiosity? And who's Matt Henry's team? Seb, do you know? It's going to be a knock-on advantage in favour of the Stormers. They are inside of their own in-goal area. Looks like Damian Valimza going to be trying to run this one out, showing a nice bit of pace. Ball on the outside, but it's knocked on again. Slams it down. Hudsonburg thought he was in for another try there if he had been able to take it. 200 people in here, but 50 likes. Hit the like button, please, and subscribe, says Yikes there as well. And Benedict 13, Scarlet 6, says Bertie V. So he's trying to suck in the winger and draw him into play. And Edinburgh are currently sitting as $26 underdogs in this contest, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we will go like that. And we will go like that. There we go. Those ankle book already getting a little bit of medical attention. They are showing Damien Valimza. To be fair, he's deserved a try with the way he's been able to attack in this game. Being very unselfish. Late 90s, mid T20s was the best cricket time. Matt Henry plays for Somerset. Who else have they got? Out of curiosity, Sebastian. And how much of a rival are they with your side? Passes out wide. Earlier on, though, Damien Valimza, both wings. Just really being able to get the assists. I think he's up to about 3 or 4 throughout this game now, alongside Marnie Libok. So they're getting more medical attention at the moment. The Stormers. So 27 minutes remaining in this match. Another on with the Tykes Seb. And your thoughts on Rassie Erasmus as head coach for the Springboks will be interesting. I think he's really concentrated on trying to bring up that next generation of Springboks talent. He's mentioned about how he doesn't really want a captain who's overseas, referring to Sia Khaleesi. So that means that one of these guys in South Africa perhaps can get themselves up there, and they are from the West County or country. They are enemies of the civilization in general, says Sebastian. And I was Hartzenberg, my man of the match for sure, says Anthony. Yeah, he's played extremely well. Same with Lely and Zas. They're both doing extremely well. They've got a new scrum. Duan van der Merwe watching on the sideline alongside Pierre Skorman. Now, those men would have loved to be able to be out there playing in that game. Sadly missing out, having to watch on, but I believe they will be back for the game next week up against the Sharks. That'll be very entertaining for those three. Ball about to be fed in for Edinburgh again. They just need that try. Out them out, Viliami Mata. That's a big push from the Stormers. Too much movement though. So it's going to be another scrum reset. The way that it sits currently, the Stormers would move up to second, ladies and gentlemen, on the overall table. Sorry, not second. They would move up to 5th. My apologies. Just looking through in terms of what is to come as well. Like I mentioned, the Stormers, they are just around the corner from a matchup up against La Rochelle in the Champions Cup. But then also before that, they've got their game next week where they do play Ulster. So the Sharks and the Stormers just swap who they are playing. And how's Damien Valimza playing? He's played extremely well throughout this game. He hasn't scored himself a try, but he has been setting up a lot of tries for the side and also just very strong at the back, being involved. But now out wide, chance for Wes Horson. Tries to fend on Lelian Zas. He's doing that one from the side. Member for 31 months. How's that for longevity? Long live the Kiwi lads, says Sebastian. And there's over 31 months is crazy. That's almost 3 years, Seb, that you've been sticking around on the channel. And of course, it is hugely appreciated. I will have to try and get a little bit more active on the Discord chat because I do see that there are millions of messages going through. That's a penalty one by Nabakaba. And Valimza thought about taking that one quickly. And West is the best, Seb, and the further the better, says Fleshin. And OG right there, baby, says a Blues nay. Surely that's going to be close to the longest membership, or at least one of the longest memberships that we've got on the channel, because I think you got the membership right when it became an option, Seb, if I'm correct. 31 months, Seb, says Grant. Now Mani Libok to kick this one towards the touchline. We have got there, Sebastian, have you been in a relationship that has passed this amount of commitment? Says Katzenell. It's like 30, that's a long time. That's not like a, not a little short spell. That's a lot can change in 3 years. Your taste buds, your thoughts about South African rugby. Says Pulea, in what regard? Like, we've covered a lot of South African games on the channel, of course. Covering the URC, we cover the Curry Cup. Always impressed with the physicality that they bring to a game of rugby. And no way, my longest relationship was probably 1.5 years or so. Says Seb and Stormers play like champions. Says Samuel, on 31 months, that's almost as long as Outlaw has watched rugby. I feel like that's going to become a running joke on the channel now, isn't it? Feels slightly bad for Outlaw. Now 23 minutes remaining. The Stormers have got themselves another line out. This one from 41 metres out. I'm still thinking Damien Valimza will get himself a try before the end of this game. And I don't know whether that's just because I feel like he probably deserves one after the way that he has been able to play. Nice rolling maul. Going 40 here for the Stormers. Andre Hugo Fenta probably also due to get himself a try at some stage in the near future. There's an advantage for the collapse. Now Paul de Vet. They're going to take this ball out the back. It's being shut down by Edinburgh, so they will get themselves another penalty, sitting with load shedding, but at least listening to you. Says Gerhard, and of course it is greatly appreciated you being here for this live stream. We've got plenty more coming in the near future. I should mention there are still 2 more games of South African rugby coming tonight. The Lions taking on Connacht, the Bulls taking on the Dragons. Sadly, we are not covering those 2 games though, due to this being our 5th game in a row. But next week we are covering the top games. Among the first ones alongside Katie, Johnny Blaze, Double David. And there as well, says Sebastian. An excellent commentary as always, says Gerhard. Thank you very much. Which player of the Stormers do you think can become a Springbok in the future? I mean, Diamani is definitely one that I think is in the running, even though he's being avoided in terms of those Springbok training camps, Springboks and the All Blacks, are why we support the World Cup. Nicely taken 10 metres out from the line now. Andre Hugo Fenta. Wanting a charge, but here comes Ivan Ruas. And he gets the try for the Stormers. He has been due one as well. And I am new, says Fluff Dog. Welcome in. Diamani, I think is going to be a great option. I think in terms of this back line, like Nani Libok and Damien Valimza are going to become mainstays, I believe, in the Springboks lineup for the foreseeable future. But Ivan Ruas just breaking off the back straight through the middle. And they couldn't stop him. Too strong. Too quick. Dave Cherry tried his best to stop him, but it was just going to be unnoticed by Ivan Ruas. 36 points to 14. I mentioned about that points differential. How much they want to try and increase it here. Working in their favour. Thoughts on Elton Yankees? He's got to be one of the dumbest players around. Every time he had an opportunity, he blew it by getting into some sort of controversy, whether that was the dietitian, whether that was, in the end, the roids and whatnot that he was taking. It's just the little things that some people you just can't really help, and he seemed to be one of them in terms of his rugby career. I have another question, says Funny. Go for it. What is the question? Who do you think is going to win the 2023-2024 URC? I honestly do think that it's about time Leinster get themselves one. But I do still feel like the Bulls and the Stormers are right up there in terms of contenders for this year. Thanks for that self-care, says Gus. And also try time, says Grant. And thoughts on Kanan Moody, very talented player. Can see him slotting in as a centre in the future for the Box, or maybe back out on that wing where he has spent more time in the past. But Lillian Zas now being taken off the field after a great game for him. JC Pretorius' future Springbok, the Lions front office, is impeding his talent by relegating him to the front of the field. And when you come and do South Africa, says Buller, it's probably a wee way away, I would say. I'd need to get some money first to be able to do so. But eventually it would be pretty awesome. Penalty goes the way of the Stormers again. And Stormers all the way, says Gerhard. And there's still another 20 minutes remaining. Still time on the clock to be able to work with. Number 8, tackle number 7 off the ball. Simple enough. And well done to the Sharks. Let's hold hands for the Bulls tonight, says Carlos. And also the Lions, they have got the tougher challenge, I'd say almost across the board, other than Sharks and Ulster, and that is in their game up against Connacht. On the halfway line, JP, or WP, Yao Lickading, there's Poulet. Joseph De Weber coming off the bench in this game rather than starting. The discipline of Edinburgh has really hurt them throughout this game. Also the fact that they've only had about 30% possession in territory throughout this contest. Yeah, Lalian's us taking off a Ben Loader. Get about Elton Yankee's stupid haircut. It's probably the reason he's bad. Now, not quite taken cleanly. Diamani knocks it on. I think that's accidental offside. And then Ruiz picked it up in front of him, so it is offside. Sharks will win all their games. So maybe they can get in the back door. So here's Johannes. Yeah, they pretty much need a perfect end to the season to get them through to where they need to be. And what kind of energy levels required to cover this match from New Zealand, says Rian. I mean, I've broken my sleep schedule. So, like, it's currently 5:30 a.m. here in New Zealand, but I'm that used to doing all-nighters covering rugby that, like, you know, my energy's still relatively high. Like, I've yawned a few times, but that is just due to the fact that I've been up for about 22 hours or something along those lines. But, like, overall, I just love watching the games as they do take place. And Hamish, brother, what's the plan for the 50k subscribers milestone? I'll be honest, I actually have no idea. Because I didn't think that we would actually hit it. But we're getting closer. Like, I think we've still got a bit of time, probably a few months at least, before we have to really plan it out. But yeah, I have no idea what to do for 50k, but I want to do something relatively big, I would say. Evening, everyone. Stormers bring the lightning. Says Denzel. Stolen by the Stormers. Sits up for Brock Harris. Then tackled by Viliami Mata. Now, Herschel Yankees goes across to Diamani. Trapping in, says the referee, so it is going to be kicked downfield from Herschel Yankees. Now, put into touch by Herschel Yankees. It's a decent one. Goes down to about 46 metres out from the Stormers line. I'll be honest, I said that Damien Valimza would score a try, and I'm starting to get a bit nervous now. I don't know whether he actually will. I'm not a supporter of the Stormers, but let us support all the teams. Go South Africa, go. Says Carlos. And when you're going to play guitar, it is currently in storage, the guitar, so sadly do not have it on me. 98% chance that this game is won by the Stormers is a stat that just got popped up onto the screen. I have to go, guys. Enjoy the rest of the game. Well done, Stormers. Says Brian. We will see you later on, mate. But thank you very much for popping in. It's been greatly appreciated. I'll claim there for Edinburgh on the halfway line. Here comes Viliami Mata. And it's nice when you're big. And the Japan Stormers and Stormers all the way, says Kurt Will, and take care, Brian. Here's Sebastian. Velicott. Going to the left-hand side, Mani Lebok having to make the tackle after taking a big shot. And time for some 50k subscribers. Celebration ideas. Do you think steroids will be eventually allowed in sports? I mean, a lot of athletes use them. Arguably more dangerous are them taking unauthorised PEDs without medical professionals. Says Katsanel. I mean, I think there's supposed to be a steroid Olympics or something coming up soon. How everyone's allowed to take drugs. Oh, it looks like Valimza might have actually taken a head knock here between him and one of the Edinburgh players. In fact, it might actually be a cut above the eye. 50k celebration, African Rugby Tour and Safari. That sounds a little bit out of my budget, to be fair. Yeah, I don't know whether we'll go that big for the 50k celebration. We might do something relatively nice, though. Connie Evans making his way onto the field. That is for Salman Moura to start this game. Steroid Olympics, says Katsanel. Now 15 minutes remaining. What? Says Katsanel. I heard a rumour about it. Apparently, like, you're allowed to take performance-enhancing drugs for that one. And my idea probably contains too much drink and lap dancing for Hamish's liking. Says Sebastian. What time the Lions is playing? So they are going to be playing in the next contest. It is starting at, I believe, 6:15 a.m. New Zealand time. If I'm correct, I'll just have a quick look to make sure. Yeah, 6:15. So in 39 minutes, it was the match referee. It is a Welshman. I'm not too sure of who it is, though. Now going off to the short side. And a muscle there up there. We're already seeing a lot of cuts on the faces of certain players, whether that's Mani Lebok, Damien Valimza now, a nice flat pass. Trying to look through to see if Damien Willemse did stay on the field. I'm not sure whether or not he did actually get taken off or not. And only if you are doing the lap dancing, says Grant. Now looking for the turnover penalty. Goes the way of Edinburgh again. Quick dab taken, but he wasn't on the march. Or on the mark, they say. "15 minutes left. Chloe, are you still single? We had good fun in the last Rugby World Cup. Says world champs twice. And I'm up for it. After all, the Kiwi lads is my longest relationship, says Sebastian. Which is quite impressive in a way, isn't it? To be fair, it's my longest as well. Good shift from our captain, Mortar. A first start since coming back from injury. Says Grant. Or first start, I think that is, rather than fist start. I wasn't sure what a fist start was. But then it hit me in the brain. What I was now rolling all around, and that's the try now for Edinburgh. They get back into this game. They're not back in it completely, but they are still a little bit in the hunt with where we are sitting in this contest. Now, I should mention Benetton versus Scarlets are sitting 13 points to 6. It is a relatively low scoring game. This is the highest scoring game that we've seen of the weekend. Yeah, nicely done there. The replacement, 16. I think that is Patrick Harrison. Let us hold hands for all Sharks, Stormers, Bulls, and the Lions. Says Carlos. Still 13 minutes remaining on the clock here. And load shedding by us watching on my phone. Says Samuel, so welcome in, mate. 2 from 2 for Ben Healy today, trying to make it 3 from 3. They're looking for that losing bonus point here, Edinburgh, if they can. With this kick going over, it means that there is still a 15 points difference, so they need a try and something for Edinburgh, but that will open up opportunities for the counter-attack from the Stormers. Careful of steroids. Damage your bones. And also got a split thanks. Great entertainment, says Tar. So we will see probably next week for Super Rugby and the URC. First game of the weekend that we are covering will be on Friday night for Super Rugby. And then the earliest game of the URC is next week on Friday night South African time, but Saturday morning New Zealand time, taking place between Leinster and the Bulls. And fifth start, probably not appropriate for this channel. Stormers go, go, go. Says a Carlos, but now Money Libok. Getting ready to kick this one off. Looking through for Damien Willemse. I think that's him now. Walking his way towards the halfway line. What is your hang up with steroids? Says one Pretorius. What is your hang up with steroids? What does hang up mean? And Benetton 13, Scarlets 9. And it is, if you're paying for it, says Grant. Now knock on from Edinburgh, 12 minutes remaining. And the Stormers will have another chance for an attacking play. And Dr. Rassi Erasmus for president, says Poulet. Another change being made. This looks like it's going to be Charlie Shield onto the field for Velicott. Quite late in some of the changes that they have been making here, Edinburgh. I think they've tried to keep their players as fresh as possible for as long as possible. Oh, it's actually going to be a scrum feed for Edinburgh. The TMO has got involved and said that there was actually a knock-on from the Stormers rather than Edinburgh. In this case, I hung up against. So what is my thing against using steroids in sport? Maybe is that the question? Now, ball's going to be fed in for Charlie Shield. You're talking more about steroids than rugby. What is your point? Says one. Well, the chat mentioned steroids, so I mentioned steroids. I mentioned what was said in the chat. Of course, it's inconvenient because we are on a live stream with South African sides, and I know that there is a stigma around the young players from South Africa, but they all get tested, they all pass, they're all out there on the field at the moment. Money Libok will now be kicking this one towards the corner to get them close. However, the Springboks need to taste grief in their first game as double world champs to quash their fans' extraordinary arrogance, says Katzenel. And final score will be 36 points to 35, says William Moses. Now 5 metres out from the line, Joseph Dweba. this line-out throw. I was watching the Super Rugby Pacific's matches this morning. Crusaders are really struggling. That is close and just short, but then they get over. This time it's going to be Evan Ruiz again. Gets his second try. There's about 3 players now for the Stormers who have brought up 2 tries in this contest. 70 minutes in. They've still got 10 minutes remaining, and this points differential is increasing by the minute for the Stormers here. And South Africa says Carlos in there as well. But that has brought up the 40 points for the Stormers. As well set. Evan Ruiz breaking off the back and getting 2 tries in a row just out from the try line. And try, says Sebastian in there as well. Now Mani Libok to line up this kick. If this goes over, they have a chance of putting 50 points on the board here, the Stormers. Now, I'm not sure when the last time was in a URC game that they have been able to bring up a 50. I think it's been a little while for the Stormers. In fact, we'll find out. We'll have a look. See exactly when it is. Well done, the Stormers, says Carlos. So the last time that they brought up 50 was up against... Jesus, going back a fair bit. October 29th, 2023. They were able to get the win 52 points to 7 over the Scarlets. That kick has gone over, which now makes that 50 a possibility. And try, says Grant Swartz. Also the waving from Julian Moses. 8.5 minutes remaining. Looking through those emojis, can't believe you've kept the Christmas and the Halloween one, says Sebastian. The thing is, the years are going that quick that we're back at Christmas and Halloween before we know it anyway. So it just kind of ends up with them sticking around. Mani Libok will be taken from the field now. That is for Matei. Won't get a huge amount of time at the end here. Nicely taken by Dan Duplessis. Didn't want to go for the offload inside of his own 22, so instead now Herschel Yankees will go across to the right-hand side. Now beautiful line break. Ben Jason Dixon, he is quicker than anyone else by the looks of it. Charging up to the halfway line. Looking for that cutout pass. They've got Damian Valimza on the inside. Going to be hard to find that next step. Valimza looks like he was just trying to wind up the player who tried to make the tackle. And thank you for an awesome stream of about almost 20 hours. Rest well, mate. Says Birdie V. And also, Italy will win a World Cup before Ireland ever will qualify for a semi. Says smoking RSA every day. But brilliant line break. Ben Jason Dixon showing off his pace, even though he's been playing for a full 70 minutes or so up till this point. And it was a great pass to Similani. Went on the inside to Damian Valimza, but unfortunately by the end there were just too many Stormers players in front. They couldn't find their next gap that they were after, and then Matea tried a bit of an unorthodox kick in behind. Our thoughts on the Rugby World Cup final? Extremely close between the All Blacks and South Africa. Hopefully the Rugby Championship games will be of a similar scoreline. But now short to Ben Loader, loading up his run. Taking down, the turnover is good though. Let it go, they say. It's available again for Edinburgh. And Stormers, you're doing it for South Africa to help the Bulls, Lions, Sharks. Good Stormers, says Carlos. Rolling it back. They have been told to use it. Still 7 minutes remaining in this contest and 7 points away from 50 for the Stormers. That one's gone into touch on the full. Now another chance now for these Stars to be able to take best team, in your opinion. Are we talking of the World Cup final, or are you talking in general? And you're talking club rugby, provincial rugby, franchise rugby, what type? International rugby. Joseph De Weber going to be throwing this ball in. World Cup, says Pule. So like the World Cup in general, well, you'd have to back the side that won the World Cup as being the best side. They had a lot of close games. The pass should have gone out wide, says Grant. Now Joseph De Weber throw this one in for the Stormers. And very nicely taken. For this rolling ball, doesn't look like it's marching forward too quickly at the moment. Joseph De Weber played off the back by Edinburgh, so it is going to be the penalty advantage. Now passed out, looping around. One more, goes out to Hudsonberg, ball on the inside to Valimza. got it away to Diamani. Now back across again, Brock Harris. Didn't quite get that next pass away that he would have wanted. Tia, and behind, running onto it, was Ben Loader. Pops it up. I think Damien Valimza was tackled without the ball there. He's really kind of controlling traffic at the moment. Damien Valimza got it away, but they will go back for the original penalty advantage. This is a chance for Evan Ruiz now to get himself a hat-trick if they go for that same set play off of the rolling maul. 17 White, man, who has been penalised for that one. Edinburgh are considered $41 underdogs, so they are not coming back into this contest. Matea puts it into touch. Going to be about 9 metres out, I believe, this time. Stormers yell like a ding. Says Fluff Dog. I will mention anyone who is new to the channel. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is greatly appreciated. Everyone being here. Next game of the URC that we are covering will be between Bulls and Leinster. It's going to be an entertaining game. That's happening next weekend. 4 minutes remain. This is actually about 10 metres out now. They're going to go high. Slap back. Still on the side. Evan Ruiz goes to Herschel Yankees. Goes straight through. 5 metres out from the line. It's going to be hard to stop the forwards from trying to score this one. Johan Nielsen for sheer. Thought about reaching it out now. Herschel Yankees will look to shift this one out wide. In behind. Bounce pass. Doesn't quite work out. Now out wide. Flatzenberg. He will go himself. He was in touch. Unfortunately, did decide against going for that next pass on the inside to Damien Valimza. And thanks, Amish Star. No DSTV, no water. So we just drink beer. Thanks again to the World Cup twice. And let's normalise promoting South African rugby. Says Pule. I mean, I've heard a lot of people promoting it, seeing as they are the world champions. And it looked like the Bok had a gaping wound. So why isn't he back on? He is back on. He came back on a while ago, but now Matea has made it his way on for the last 10 minutes. Now, 5 metres out from the line, Edinburgh. Do not do it cleanly. It's not straight. And now the Stormers have a 5 metre scrum. Leka Stormers are watching all the way from Cape Town, Mitchell's Plain. Says Lorenzo. Thank you very much for tuning in. 3 minutes remain. Stormers ahead by 22. And they're looking to make it at 50 points. Johan Nedeling for actually using the referee as a way of holding himself up to scratch his boots. And my youngest son Hayden played for Edinburgh. But that was about 15 years back. Says Glenn Woods. Rassi Erasmus is the rugby champ. And over there you go, Stormers go. Says Carlos and Lovey Commentary Hamish. Thanks for the watch along. Says smoking RSA every day. And of course, we are going to be back with Super Rugby and the URC next weekend, followed by the Sevens the week after and the Champions Cup. So there's a lot of rugby just around the corner from taking place. Going to be covering it all on the channel. Asking for a steady scrum here. Herschel Yankees to feed their ball in. Diamani is ready to take it off the back. And now Herschel Yankees wants that one. It's slapped down. That's a clear yellow card for the Edinburgh player, but it is going to be play on by the sounds of it, or just the penalty. Mitchell's Plain, isn't that where they found bodies? Grant says Sebastian, and also a big fan, go the Stormers. 5 metres out, they're going for another scrum. They want either Diamani to score off the back, or they want to get it out the back line, see who can score. Out of those players, maybe the Springboks should apologise to World Rugby for what they did in 1995, 07, 19 and 2023. And thanks for the commentary, Hamish. Says Peter Mason. Yeah, it's been an entertaining game. 64 points in total. And honestly, start planning for rugby and safari trip. People will help you out along the way. Says Rian. It will depend on when we hit the milestone, though, because I'd love to be able to watch a game of rugby alongside it. And next game again in Cape Town, says Julian Moses. And of course, they have got their game up against La Rochelle taking place in Cape Town in only 2 weeks' time, who should have been the World Rugby Player of the Year in your opinion. Says Pule. I mean, there were a lot of guys right up there in terms of great options. That's going to be the penalty. Double blow the whistle, time off. I think Herschel Yankees may still consider the quick tap, even with that yellow card. As a Scottish thing, heaps of viewers this morning. Says Glenn Woods. Oh, okay. The next one, you're going to leave the field for the last warning. And Stormers all the way since 1996. And a solid game, Stormers. So we are moving into the top 8. We're moving something with Frans Malherbe for sure. 40 seconds remain. This will be the last play of the day. That should be a yellow card for Edinburgh 9. I agree. He slapped the ball down. But because they were already under penalty advantage, they went back for the original one. So I think he really dodged a bullet. But now, okay, young man, you've been up since early morning, so have a good time. Have a super sleep. There's cool story, bro. Fed in this time. It's available again. They have got a new... Oh, it's just kicked away. That's got to be a yellow card this time, doesn't it? For the front row. I'd just take the quick tap if I was the Stormers. I feel like the scrums are just going to cause too many problems. And the France number 9 player, in my opinion, and I'm a Springbok, says Bullet. So Antoine Dupont, Loan de Bruin is now making his way from the field. What do they do here? I think Evan Ruiz wants another scrum. What do they decide here, the Stormers? They're in the huddle. And also been a while. I'm glad to see you still in it. Says Denzel. And for sure, bro. Hamish Watson will be going off because of that yellow card. And that's Stormers' great result for the Bulls. Says Outlaws in there as well. But they still want one more try here, the Stormers. They just want to use their backline. They've got 4 players out there waiting. But every time they try to, Charlie Sheila either kicks it or slaps it down deliberately to stop it from going out the back line under penalty advantage. Like I said, Edinburgh still need one more try to get themselves a bonus point from this game, so they may even continue playing if they feel that they've got a chance of getting one. And what about, where have you been, Denzel? He missed out on what Krampus did to his camper van. I thought about the 21-year-old player, Caden Moody. I mean, he's already shown that he is definitely quality enough to play international rugby, whether that's in the centres or out on the wing. And Harris, thank you for your commentary today. Enjoy your rest after the game. Says Brian, thank you very much. Now, still 5 metres out, another scrum here. This will be about the 4th in a row. Another big push from the Stormers. It's available. Here we go. Herschel Yankee slings it across. It's going to be knocked on, and the advantage for Edinburgh. They've got another chance to look to attack and round the side. He's tackled high by the number 19. I think that is Connor Evans, if I am correct. Isn't Big Artie player of the year, says Glenn Woods? I think so. I think he ended up getting it. And the end of Stormers go to 35 points on the log. Says Julian. And my mum is sitting with her Stormers t-shirt on, lol. Says Lorenzo. They got a possibility of a 4th try here for the Stormers. So they will look for the touchline, and this game is not over yet. Now for the Stormers, I mean, they will want to try and stop Edinburgh from getting that bonus point, of course, but they also wanted to score themselves one more try if it was on off. It comes to South Africa, we have the best wines here. I don't actually drink wine, though, so that would be unfortunate. Andrew says Lorenzo. Now the line out throw. The 82 minutes through. Edinburgh, that extra point could be crucial. They have to make sure that they make the most of this opportunity. Line out from Patrick Harrison has been thrown straight, so that is a good start for Edinburgh. Connor Evans lifting a leg. That normally gets you in a bit of trouble. He's really working on the verge of getting penalised again here. My French rugby is the most entertaining in South Africa. The most dreadful thoughts, says Katzenell. I mean, it's one of those topics that no matter what you say about it, there's going to be an argument. So we're probably better off not answering that question. Well, that was not ideal. Says Grant. I can't even begin to tell what happened between the Sarries and the Quins. Bloody hell. I saw that they were way as the underdog, the Harlequins. So it must have gone wrong early on, I assume, in that game. Now back across to the left-hand side. Sebastian hitting it up. Edinburgh still continuing to attack here. Shell goes off to the left-hand side. Johan Goosen, Salah the dummy. Did actually play at 15 for this game rather than Emiliano Bofelli. Was originally named as the starting lineup. We have the best prostitutes. So here's MQ2. And also Stormers nearly top 4. Going to be charged down by Connor Evans. Driven backwards that little bit further. In fact, this time it was actually Mattia, I think. No, it was Connor Evans. He looked a little bit shorter in that last shot. And Scarlet's 14, Benetton 13. People complaining about South African rugby, yet their countries have never won a World Cup. So yeah, smoking RSA every day. Now 40 metres out from their own line here, Edinburgh. This game looks like it's going to go all night. Now another offload. 4 minutes almost gone. And extra time, but they want that next try. Big run from Viliami Mata. Nice turnover from Herschel Yankees. I think, there's another knock on. And it's going to be the end of the contest. You have moderators now. Nice for the Stormers, says bystander. That is going to be the end of the contest. And the Stormers victorious, 43 points to 21. Edinburgh put it in a fight, but the possession stat heavily in favour of the Stormers. The territory stat heavily in their favour, and seeing about 6 or 7 tries scored by the Stormers throughout this game also meant that they were pretty dominant overall in this game. Cheers, give you that, Hamish. Thanks, Hamish. And enjoy your lovely evening, gentlemen. Big love. And lost in style, though. And Stormers maybe top 2. Even GP all the way again, says Denzel and the Stormers. And there as well. But yeah, pulling off the victory. Bouncing back well. And now they have got the game next week where they are going to be going head-to-head with none other than the Ospreys. So they have actually moved up to 6th now on the overall table because Benetton go a little bit higher after their win over the Scarlets. They are in the top 8, and that is the main thing. Ulster are actually sitting in 8th. They have a chance of dropping out of that top 8 if the Lions get themselves the victory here. I like the Brave Scotsman. Says Glenn Woods. And thanks, Kiwi, says Lorenzo in there as well. No worries at all, but I do thank you all very much for tuning in to this live stream. Of course, that is the last one that we have got of the day that we are covering, but there is still going to be plenty more action coming just around the corner, ladies and gents, so be sure to hit that subscribe button. I thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all for the next